Game day, championship Saturday, early December, cold weather in the mid-Atlantic. Can't ask for much more than that, right? So I'm sitting here watching college game day, and I'm thinking, okay, it's 9 o'clock Eastern time. Am I going to sit here and watch 3 hours of this and then watch the 12 o'clock game, the 4 o'clock game, and the two 8 o'clock games? No. But college game day is entertaining, right? I mean, a lot of good topics, a lot of good conversation. You listen to Saban speak his knowledge. I hear Lane Kiffin's going to be on in a little while. But no, I can't sit through it. But what I will do, I'm going to the gym and I'm going to take my earphones and my phone. And I've got YouTube TV, so I am going to listen to it while I work out. That's the move. Don't let these guys have you sitting in the house all day getting nothing done. They'll do it to you. You'll be here from 9 a.m. all the way to 12 a.m. And you wouldn't, no grass cut, no leaves raked, nothing. And your wife's looking at you like, you just going to sit around all day? Because Sunday is almost the same, right, with the NFL. And then they've got I don't know if they're doing this weekend, but then they have those overseas games that come on early in the morning sometimes. So you got to pace yourself. Make sure you're getting stuff done. Say hello to the kids. Kiss your wife. Eat something, right? Don't forget to eat. I'm telling you, this football stuff will have you going crazy. I mean, you'll just be watching football all day and you will not get anything done. So I'm going to the gym. I'm going to listen to college game day at the gym. Then I need to dump some trash that's in the back of the truck. So I'm going to get some things done before noon, but then I'm watching the games, right? So we have Texas Tech and BYU. I watched the first game when they played. Texas Tech is the better team, but BYU blew some opportunities, had some early fumbles. I think they can compete and keep it close, but I would take Texas Tech in that one. I'm curious to see how the nation reacts to Texas Tech. A lot of people haven't seen them yet, and this is their chance to be on the big stage and try to show the world that they can compete with the so-called big dogs. So that'll be a good one. Then, of course, Alabama, Georgia. I mean, both teams have a ton of injuries, it sounds like. I did a clip yesterday talking about how Kirby can overcome his Alabama problem. But, man, if he's got these injuries, I don't know what the mindset will be going into this game. I know both teams are talking about they want to win, so I'm sure they're going to put their best foot forward. But, injuries will play a factor in that, but I still feel like if Kirby's front four can get pressure on Simpson without having to blitz the whole game, because like last time they played, Kirby blitzed 50% of the time. You can't do that, especially if it's not working. You've got to mix it in. You've got to mix it up. He's going to look at some of that Oklahoma film to see how Brett Venables confused Ty Simpson. He's going to try to implement some of that and see if he can confuse Ty Simpson, because the first time they played Simpson, he was lights out. Now, Alabama, on the other hand, they've got to run the ball. I've been saying this as of late. DeBurr, coach of Alabama, I think he's more of a, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, but more of a West Coast mindset, right? Throw the ball 60% of the time, not really focusing on the things Saban used to focus on, which is dominating the line of scrimmage, making sure the run game is the one option, and then we kind of play off of that. So he has a little different mindset on how he attacks things, but he is going to have to run the ball a little bit better in order to not only beat Georgia, but to be able to advance, in this playoff. That should be another good one. UVA Duke, the interest around that is, I will say this, the UVA coach, he used to be the offensive coordinator at Clemson when they were winning a couple titles. Then he went to UVA, and he dealt with that issue where there was a shooting and a couple players were killed and hurt. And he has been able to help them overcome that. Tony's his first name. He's been able to help them overcome that. And here they are. And I know people are like, man, that's a weak title game, but he has that team in the ACC title game. If he can win it, that would be a huge accomplishment for him and what he's done over the last couple of years trying to mend or build that place back up. And to win the ACC would be great for him and his program. Now, here's the kicker. And you got to follow me because this is like a tongue twister, Rubik's Cube, Monopoly, and all the little tricky games you played growing up. This is the college football player for the same thing. So if Duke beats UVA 11 times out of 12, James Madison is going to get into the playoffs. Yeah, if Duke wins, James Madison will get into the playoffs over Duke because they will be the higher ranked team. Yeah, but if UVA wins, then they'll get in over James Madison. Now, also, Tulane beat North Texas last night, so they are in the playoff as of right now. So Tulane is in, and either James Madison or Duke. No, excuse me, it's a tongue twister. Either James Madison or UVA will get in, taking that other conference spot, that fourth or fifth conference spot. So a lot going on. For some of us, it's like a chemistry test. In algebra, you're trying to weed through it and figure out. And some people just want to wait till Sunday, and then you'll find out exactly who's getting in, and then you can fuss and fight about how did those teams get in, right? So you have one or two options. Try to study this thing like it's a test, try to figure out all the answers in different scenarios, or you just wait until Sunday and figure it out as everybody else figures it out. So then we have Ohio State and Indiana. I'm looking forward to this game. I want to see if Indiana's quarterback can stand up to what Ohio State's going to bring to them defensively, especially in the secondary scheme-wise. I said in an earlier clip, if you're going to beat Ohio State, you're going to have to really study for the test because they're going to do different things to confuse you. So if you're Indiana, this is a game that you should have been practicing and preparing for weeks ago. You don't prepare for Ohio State the week of. You prepare for them week 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and beyond. You implement small things that Ohio State does into your practices and just focus on that for 5 to 10, 15 minutes. And then you build on that each week while you're preparing for Iowa or Purdue or Illinois or anybody else that you're playing week to week. So if you can do that, that's half the battle. Secondly, outside of practice, you have to get with your receivers. If you're the quarterback, you have to get with your receivers, and you got to watch film together, and you got to go out in the parking lot, and you got to throw the ball around, and you got to play mind games with yourself. You got to visualize and anticipate and think about all the different things that Ohio State might do. See, Ohio State, they play defense as if all you're doing all day is preparing for football, right? You can't go to class. You can't hang out with your girlfriend. You can't go watch movies. You have to kind of study and see what they're doing. If you can do that, you can have success. I'm not saying you can't have success. I'm just saying these are the things that you need to do to defend, well, to beat that defense. It's just football. I mean, it's just preparation. It's nothing to be scared of. It's nothing to worry about. Just prepare. Be prepared. Indiana on defense, of course, you got to deal with the receivers, or you got to deal with Bo Jackson. In order to do that, I think you got to get to the quarterback. He's still young. I think he's a freshman, right? He's still young. I mean, you're not going to just shut down all the weapons, so you got to get to the head, right? You got to get to Ohio State's quarterback, whether it's your front four or some special blitz, or heck, you put in a special scheme to confuse him on defense. I will give Ohio State the edge, but yeah, it's a Big Ten title game. I just want to watch some good football, right? Everybody wants some picks and things of that nature, but I'm more of the type of guy, I want to know how and why a team wins as opposed to, hey, that team's going to win. And then we sit around and watch the game and have no say-so in it, right? I'm not playing. You're not playing. I can't control the outcome. I mean, that's fun. They're going to win. I think they're going to win. And then they win, great. Now what? If they don't win, then great. No, I want to see how they win. I love the X's and O's and the schemes of it. So I'm curious and looking forward to watching that game. So there you have it. In the end, Sunday, we'll know who's in the playoffs. I mean, just some quick nuggets. If BYU wins today, then more than likely Notre Dame and Miami are out. If BYU loses, then it'll probably come down to Miami, Notre Dame, and maybe BYU for a last spot. Again, if Duke wins today, more than likely James Madison gets in over Duke. If UVA wins, they get in. If Alabama loses to Georgia, they probably get in. If they get beat by 35 or 40, then we have a conversation for Sunday, right? Yeah, do they stay in or do they not get in, right? You know, that you can't. That's the thing about the SEC title game, right? It's supposed to be the best conference, if not the best, the second best. So if you're in the championship game, which is a luxury, a reward, it's kind of hard to lose that game and then be rewarded for not being in the playoffs. That's the tricky part. But if you lose it by 35, then at least you have some questions, right? Do they belong in? But anyways, that remains to be seen. And at the end of the day, last thing. If Alabama beats Georgia, I want to know how high Alabama jumps. They're at 10 now. If they beat Georgia, how high do they go up and how far does Georgia go down? All right, it's game day. Enjoy it. Remember, go get some work done. Don't watch TV all the way up till noon Eastern time. Go work out, cut some grass, rake some leaves, eat, kiss your kids, talk to your wife. Have a good time.